It all. Good morning, Selena.
Hey, good morning, Gio. And that showdown between President Trump and the federal judge is escalating over the deportation of hundreds of Venezuelans. The Trump administration argues that the president has the power to round up individuals, deport them to a foreign country with no obligation to show any evidence against them to a court. Overnight, the tense standoff between President Trump and the federal judge demanding answers about the administration's deportation of more than 200 Venezuelan migrants to a prison in El Salvador. The president invoking the Alien Enemies Act, a centuries-old wartime law that allows the government to deport people with little or no due process. Federal Judge Boasberg calling the president's use of the law incredibly troublesome. And the Trump administration's arguments about the extent of presidential powers awfully frightening. Judge Boasberg grilling the Justice Department lawyer, asking why the flights with Venezuelans on board were immediately turned back to the U.S. despite the judge's explicit order to do so last Saturday. The lawyer admitting, "I understood your intent, that you meant that to be effective at the time," undermining the White House's argument that they complied with the order. The judge also blasting the Justice Department for rushing to invoke the Alien Enemies Act, questioning whether it was done to accelerate the deportations to avoid any legal challenges. The judge saying, "Why is this proclamation essentially signed in the dark on Friday night or early Saturday morning, and then these people rushed on the planes? To me, the only reason to do that is if you know it's a problem and you want to get them out of the country before a suit is filed." The judge also saying the rush deportations prevented the men from challenging the administration's allegations that they were members of the Tren de Aragua gang. But overnight, the president claiming he never signed the order from the deportations, appearing to distance himself from the situation.
I don't know when it was signed because I didn't sign it. Other people handled it.
Yet the proclamation filed bears the president's signature. The president continuing to lash out at Judge Boasberg.
You can't stop that with a judge sitting behind a bench that has no idea what goes on, who happens to be a radical left lunatic.
An attorney for Jersey Reyes Barrios, a professional soccer player from Venezuela, says he was deported and accused of being a gang member because of his tattoos. The lawyer says they're a tribute to his favorite soccer team, not gang tattoos. His aunt's message is to give these young men who are detained a chance to prove their innocence. And the Trump administration says that as soon as next month, they are revoking the legal status of more than 500,000 migrants from
Between a federal judge and the Trump administration over deportation flights. At issue, more than 200 Venezuelans who the White House calls gang members. ABC's Selena Wang is following.